Hello and welcome to our final video of week 4. We're going to write exponential functions today. And we're going to write them when given 2 points or more than 2 points. So write the exponential equation for the function shown in the table. I'm wondering how in the world we're going to do that. Well, there's the graph. Okay. We're going to use our equation, y equals ab to the x. We're going to use a point, and I like to use, when I have x equals 0, I like to use that point. Okay, to find the a and the b value. So I'm going to use 0, 27. I'm going to put 27 in for y. That's a y value. We don't know a and we don't know b, but we know x is 0. So I'm going to put 0 in for x. Well, how does that help me? Well, what's b to the 0 power? That's 1. So now b to the 0 just becomes 1. 1 times a is a, so a equals 27. That's one part done. Now I can use that information to help me find b. So I'm going to put 27 in for a, and then I'm going to take another point in my table. So I'll just take the next one, 181. 81 is a y value. We already know 27 is a. B is what we're missing, and the x value for that is 1. Well, b to the first power is just b. Now I just divide by 27, and I get b equals 3. And I can rewrite my equation, y equals 27 times 3 to the x. That's my final answer right there. All right. So what happens when I don't have x equals 0? So in this case, I don't know what that is down there. All right. So what do I do? Well, kind of the same thing. I'm going to take I like to start with my bigger x value, so 5, and I'm going to put that one first. The y value when x is 5 is 4,800. A times b, we don't know what that is. We don't know what a is. We don't know what b is, but x is 5. I'm going to do the same thing with my second point. When x is 3, y is 1,200, a times b to the third power. Now I'm going to divide these two things. I'm not going to add them. I'm going to divide them. And why am I dividing them? Well, watch what happens. 4,800 divided by 1,200 is 4. A divided by a, that's the key thing here. A divided by a, they cancel out. B to the 5th divided by b to the 3rd, we've talked about what that looks like back in our exponential properties lessons. There's 5 on top, there's 3 on the bottom. That means there's 2 left over on top. Now, I haven't talked about this yet, but how do I get b by itself? To get b squared by itself, or to get b squared without the exponent, I have to take the square root of both sides. I kind of mentioned it in the rational exponents at the beginning of this week, but that's how you do it. When you have a b squared, you take the square root of both sides, and you get 2 equals b. All right, so now we're going to use that with one of these points up here. I'll use the smaller one, but I know my b is 2. So I'm going to take 1,200, put it in for y. We don't know a yet. 2, now we know the exponent is 3. I can solve this equation now. 2 to the third power is 8. 8 times a is 8a divided by 8, and I get 150. So my equation is y equals 150 times 2 to the x. Make sure you, when you do all that work, that you finish it up by writing the correct equation. All right, so I put the larger x value on top in that previous problem, and I said it's a good habit to get into. Let me show you why. You can do it the other way, but things get a little tricky at the beginning. So let's just do this problem here. Okay, let's say I start with the smaller x value, put that one on top. So 675 equals AB to the second. In the second point, I make 2025 equals AB to the third. Divide that. You actually will get 1/3 there. That simplifies down to 1/3. The a's cancel. B squared divided by b to the third is actually b to the negative first. Now, if I can write that without a positive x or without a negative exponent, I can write that as 1 over b. Yeah, you should know how to solve this, but if you can see that this is a little more work to do. I can avoid it if I just flip these two at the very beginning. All right. But if I multiply by b, I get b over 3 equals 1 times by 3. I should get b equals 3. Now I can use that. Once I find b, I like to use the smaller one. 675 goes in for y, 2 goes in for x, 3 squared is 9. 675 divided by 9 is 75. So I get y equals 75 times 3 to the x. Okay. And that concludes lesson 3.